يحفظون القرآن. But the ayah says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنِ. So what did we do? Allah ya'lam wa antum la ta'lamun. What do? Instead of contemplating the book and trying to live the Quran. And the Quran is a dynamic book. It's a living book. It talks to you. It's living. It's alive. So we changed the book from that all these multiple dimensions of the Quran to one dimension of memorizing the words of the Quran. And we established schools to teach people how to memorize the words, but their heart is singing a different tone. Lips are saying one thing and the heart is saying another. And memorizing the Quran is great. That's another copy of the Quran. Very nice. We have many copies of the book. But the point is not that we memorize. The point is that we interact, live and love. Live the Quran. Therefore you see now Sayyid Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, again we're going to take a lot to As-Siddiqa radiallahu anha. When she was asked about Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam inside his home, how was he, al-Mu'mineen, inside his home? She said, كَانَ خُلُقُهُ الْقُرْآنِ. He was a walking Quran sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. It's not about having another copy of the Quran, ya Habibi. It's not about decorating the Quran and putting it on the walls of our homes. It's not about decorating it in a nice book with different colors. The point is that you put it not in the walls, in the shelves of the masjid. You put it in the shelves of your heart. It's not that you make it with different colors that look beautiful. It is that you have the color of the Quran on you. Sibghat Allah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Sibghat Allah. وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ مِنَ اللَّهِ صِبْغَةً. Sibgha means color. The color that Allah grants. Which other color is better than that? Yeah, that's the point. That's the point. We say Bismillah, we memorize the book. Just like the Salah. Allahu Akbar. في محبة ولا ما في محبة؟ محبة lip service ولا محبة real in the heart? We have a problem because we stay away from طيبة. With our hearts, we're away from طيبة, the pure city. So, عرج لطيبة. Send your heart to طيبة. فإن بين قبابها الله. Between the qibab, amongst the qibbal, amongst the domes of طيبة, حبيبا. صلى الله عليك يا سيدي يا حبيبي يا رسول الله. حبيبا. There is someone that loves you there. Someone, not only that, even if you don't feel the love, but he loves you, sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. Someone that loves you, Habib. Habib loves you. Oh, no, I did not bring it from my pocket. Huh? I stay away from all the da'if hadith. I don't get there, so we don't talk about that nowadays. You know how it is, which is good. The Quran says, بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لقد جاءكم رسول من أنفسكم what? It's close to his heart. What you go through, difficulties that happen to you. Harisun alaykum. He's so caring about you. Haris is caring about you. Bil mu'minina ra'ufan. There's Habib there. Think about Taiba. Contemplate Taiba. The pure, so you may imbibe purity from Taiba. فإن بين قبابها حبيبا لأدواء القلوب طبيب. He is the real doctor of the hearts. Yeah. Then he says, إذا لم تطب. If you don't get purified, if you don't get pured, إذا لم تطب في طيبة. If you don't become طيب, in طيبة, the pure city, عند طيب, next to the pure, به من طابت الدنيا, the one who made the whole dunya pure, then where else will you be pure? إذا لم تطب في طيبة عند طيب به طابت الدنيا. With whom the whole dunya is pure because of him صلى الله عليه وسلم. الكون كله نور. الكون كله نور. وسم of the ulama ابن عطاء الله رضي الله عنه says الكون كله ظلمة وإنما أناره إشراق الحق فيه. Ibn Ata'Allah says Al-Kawn is entirely darkness, but what illuminates part of it is the shining of Haqq in it. So obviously may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward him. And let's just take it upon our own ignorance to reverse it a little bit. Let's see what happens. Al-Kawnat kulluhu dhulma, Al-Kawnu kulluhu nur. The whole universe is illuminated. وَإِنَّمَا أَظْلَمَهُ وُجُودُ الْبَاطِلِ فِيهِ. But what makes it dark, the patches of darkness, is the existence of batil in that universe. If you're not purified, إذا لم تطب في طيبة عند طيب. Next to طيب صلى الله عليه وسلم. Who is the purest of the purest? إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم. Who is the purified? صلى الله عليه وسلم. إذا لم تطب. If you're not purified in the city of purity, next to the pure, then where else will you be pure? So when you go there, go look amongst the domes of Medina and stand next to the pure صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وسلم. إذا لم يستجب ربنا في حيه الدعاء. If Allah does not answer your dua in His neighborhood, the pure, in the pure city, next to the pure, if your dua is not answered in that neighborhood, then فَفِي أَيِّ حَيٍّ لِلدُّعَاءِ يُجِيبُ. Then in which other neighborhood would Allah answer your request? If dua is not answered there in that neighborhood, then in which neighborhood would it be? شربنا شرابا طيبا. We drank a pure drink. شربنا شرابا طيبا عند طيب. Next to the طيب, he dishes out these drinks of spirituality. كذاك شراب الطيبين يطيب. This is the طيبين, the pure. When you go to them, they give you this drink. They give you this drink of meanings, of ma'ani. Drinks of beauty, drinks of love. كذاك شراب الطيبين يطيب. So is the drink of the طيبين. It's always purifying. When you go to people of mahabbah and people of Allah, even by sitting with them, you get purified. Look, you get close. You tear down the veils, little by little. كذاك شراب الطيبين يطيب. This is the sharab of the طيبين. It makes you so طيب also. شربنا فأهرقنا على الأرض قطرة. He says we drank so much that some drops fell on the soil. فأهرقنا على الأرض قطرة. But he said, don't think this is coincidental. Why? وللأرض من كف الكرام نصيب. But also the soil is yearning for that kind of drink, and the kiram, the honorables, they also let the soil drink as well. قل إن كان آباؤكم وأبناؤكم وإخوانكم وأزواجكم. Until when are we going to start talking about transformation rather than information? And I always say we became articulate in speech. MashaAllah, everyone is a muballighin and khutaba and even al-masha, everyone. Knowledge, no knowledge, we have everyone standing on the mic. Very nice. I'm not saying take the mic away, Allah bless you. Lakin, until when are we going to move from the point of information to the phase of transformation? That's what happened to as-sahaba al-kiram radiyallahu ta'ala anhum. It was not information that they were taking only. It was transformation. You could see them transforming. Umar says, Ya Rasulullah, we did not leave Umar still. The hadith is on standby. Click resume. Aywa. I don't want you to lose sight of that. He says, Ya Rasulullah, I love you more than I love my everything except myself. He says, Laysa ba'd, not yet, Ya Umar. Your iman is incomplete. Your salah, siyam, zakah, all these things that Umar does, not yet. Iman is not yet complete. What do I need to do? You have to love me more than you love yourself. Until now, what? The color of Umar becomes Muhammadi. The sibgha of Umar becomes Muhammadiyya. It becomes, because everything about him, he loves Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam more than he loves himself. He came and he says, Ya Rasulullah, Allah, I love you more than I love myself. He says, now, Ya Umar, now your iman has been complete. Now. Now we're still on the list of priorities, only Allah knows where we really, in actuality and practice, where we put Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Not in talk, lip service is cheap. Take that elsewhere. You can't cash lip service in the Qiyamah. You go to the bank, there's no cashing. You gotta have actions, because actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words. Allah says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Let's examine another ayah. I'm not going to take it too long for you, but the point is not, again, information. That's why I disagree with the philosophy of speech days. The point is, خير الكلام ما قل ودل. Simple, the best of kalam is that is short and sweet, to the point. Overloading with information becomes upload and download. Now we want to be transformed. We don't want to talk information. The problem, we have so much information, but there's no transformation. يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها النبي يا أيها النبي إنا أرسلناك شاهدا ومبشرا ونذيرا وداعيا إلى الله بإذنه وسراجا منيرا. الآية has so many themes, though it's short, but it has multiple themes. We need days to talk about it. Let me just take you to the very last thing so we can talk about. Ya ayyuhan nabi, O Prophet of Allah, we've sent you all these things, the meaning of the ayah. وَسِرَاجًا مُنِيرًا. You've been sent as Siraj Munir. Sirajan Munira means what? What does Sirajan Munira mean? Huh? Light? Siraj really means the lamp in the Arabic language. And Munir means illuminating. Right? And as you know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks, when he talks about the Nabi al-A'zam sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he called him Sirajan Munira. Versus when he talks about the sun, he says, وَجَعَلْنَا سِرَاجًا وَهَّاجًا. The Shams, the sun, Siraj Wahhaj. But Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Siraj Munir. Difference. Wahhaj means emanates heat. Not only light, but also what? Heat. Look at the sun. It gives you light and it gives you temperature. Like in the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And if you get too close, the UV lights, they may burn you and give you, and then you have to put sunshades for the UV lights. And if you expose yourself too long you ask those oncologists to tell you no more than 30 minutes a week. Otherwise, if you in Chicago, you don't have that, and you don't have to worry about that anyway. Especially in the winter. Usually you don't expose your skin to sunlight more than 30 minutes a week. Why? Because there's all these alpha and all these radiations. So they may burn you, because the sun may burn you. And if the sun decides to like you a little bit more, and if the sun decides to love Earth a little bit more and gets 1 mile closer, you know what happens, huh? Everything burns. هذا to the sun, because sun is sirajan wahaja. Like in Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, sirajan munira. He gives you nur without burning you. And the more he gets close to you, or the more you get close to him, the more nur. Sirajan munira. Not only is he illuminates your heart, he illuminates your eyes. He with his dhikr sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and following his sunnah, he illuminates your limbs, your organs, your talk, your smile, your everything that you do becomes sort of Muhammadi. You become about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not about yourself. Because we need that love. We have a need for the love of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You all know love makes things happen within the people. We have this notion nowadays. I'm saying that is because we have this notion nowadays that you love Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, follow him. That is 103% correct. The science of love is to follow. No doubt. No doubt about that. True love means you're emulating, you're imparting, you're following. No doubt about that. But wait, that's not the only component of the love of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Why? Hadith. Hadith صحيح في البخاري. لا يؤمن أحدكم. One of you would not be a complete believer until what? Until حتى أكون أحب إليه من ولده وولده وأهله في رواية والناس أجمعين. One of you would not be a believer until he loves me more than he loves his son and his father and his family and the whole people. That's hadith صحيح في البخاري. With the other ayah that we started with, قُلْ إِنْ كَانَ آبَاؤُكُمْ وَأَبْنَاؤُكُمْ. If your fathers and your sons and your spouses and your brothers and all them more beloved to you than Allah and His Prophet, then you shall await. All these things tell you what? Do you love the taqreer of loving your son? When you have, let's say, a son, do you love him with your mind or you love him with your heart? Otherwise, the muqarana, linguistically speaking, it would be invalid to make such a comparison. Why, Ya Rasulullah, are you telling me that I need to love you more than I love my father and my son? Because you don't love your father and son through intellectual reasoning only, but you love them through your heart also. It's not only the love intellectually, I have to love my father, he's my father, and I have to love my son because he's my son. No, but your heart pours out to your son, regardless what your son does, because he's your son. When Nabi al-A'zam sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is telling us in the authentic hadith, one of you would not be a believer until he loves me more than he loves his own son. Yani the love is not only taqreer, mantiqi, only in the mantiq, only in the reason and in the intellectual reasoning. Oh, I have to love him, so I follow him. Wait. It is also a spiritual and a love and an emotional component that you love him, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, more than you love your own son that you love so much. If we get all of you with this, we're done. Yeah, that's the whole point. That you love him sallallahu alayhi wa sallam with your heart, not only with your mind. Your mind, yes, but your heart is out there. That's how we can understand the Sahaba radiallahu anhum ajma'in. Otherwise, how can you understand the hijrah? How can you understand that An-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam goes in the hijrah of Sayyidina Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu wa arda'ah? One, he's walking on his right, and he's walking behind him, and he's walking as if he's doing tawaf. I'm not saying he is, I'm just saying now, so we're clear. But he's walking this, he's walking this, he's walking this. That's what Kutub al-Sirah say. And he's turning around, and you know, why are you doing this? Ya Abu Bakr says, Ya Rasul, just in case someone throws an arrow or something on this side, then it gets me before it gets you. If he throws it on this side, it gets me. What? Then if you ask the particles of sand from the path of hijrah, from Mecca to Medina, they will write a book about the love of Abu Bakr to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. They'll tell you love stories. They witnessed love, not just talk, oh yeah, I'm going with him, that's good, so I'm going to be next to him. La. And Siddiq radiallahu anhu was not worried about that. Hadith al-Bukhari also, where Sayyidina Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu left the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam sleeping until a shepherd came. He says, do you have cold? Can you get us some milk? Do you have cold? He says, yes. He says, give it to me. And so the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was sleeping. Sayyidina Siddiq, he covered it, he put it, so it cools down in the hijrah. He says, he didn't wake up Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Both of them are going in the sun and the desert, very difficult. He says, until he woke up. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Look, As-Siddiq is sitting there waiting until the Nabi al-A'zam sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He says, when he woke up, I gave him, he says, Ya Rasul, he did not drink. He's thirsty too. He's also walking in the desert. But he's thirsty. He wants to drink. But no, how can he drink before his beloved drinks? But look at the hadith. He says, when he woke up, I gave him, Ya Rasulullah, would you like to drink some cold milk? He says, فَشَرِبَ حَتَّى, he drank حَتَّى ارْتَوَيْتْ, until I became satisfied. Wow, wait. He kept drinking, he kept drinking until I was satisfied that he drank and drank and drank and drank, as if I was drinking. This transformation, not, oh, he's still asleep. Transformation. How do you understand he went with him all this on this journey of death almost? How do you understand that Ali? You say, okay, Abu Bakr, then he's a little bit older gentleman. How about Ali? He was not even, he was almost 20 at that time. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam summons him. Ta'ali Ali. Yes. He says, I'm going with Abu Bakr to the Hijrah, and they're going to try to come and kill me. Yeah. You stay in my bed pretending that it's me, instead. Have you ever read anywhere in the Sirah that Sayyidina Ali told him, Ya Rasulullah, will they kill me? I mean, they're coming to kill you. Are they going to kill? What's going to happen? I'm only to let me live my life. I'm only 20-year-old. Like, you don't see any of the books of the Sirah Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu is questioning a Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, except saying, Ya Rasulullah, if I do that, are you going to be safe? Are you going to be away from them, Ya Rasulullah? He says, yes. He says, then myself to yourself is the guard and the shield. Nafsi li nafsika al-fida. May myself be ransom at your feet, Ya Rasulullah. That's the love. He slept. He goes, this is an honor. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sometimes in the form of depriving, there's giving. And in the form of giving, there's depriving. The Sufiya talk about that. Sometimes he gives you, but it's really depriving. He gave Qarun money, but did he give? Is that giving or depriving? He gave Fir'aun power. Is this giving or depriving? Like in Musa, he did not give him money. But was it giving? He deprived them from money. But is it giving or depriving? So you know the whole thing. I don't have to tell you that stuff. Like in Sayyidina Ali goes now where he sleeps on the prophetic bed covered with the prophetic sheet. Who's going to get to sit there? He sleeps. He covers himself and he... The poet said, وَمَنَاقِبٌ لَكَ دُونَ أَحْمَدٍ. Ya Ali, you have manaqib, but less than Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Some people go crazy. Some other people, they just go, wait, hold your horses here. No one is better than the Anbiya alayhim salam. وَمَنَاقِبٌ لَكَ دُونَ أَحْمَدٍ. But فَاقَتْ بِمَقَامِكَ التَّقْيِيمَ وَالتَّحْدِيدَ. But there's so much that no one can enumerate them, Ya Ali. There's so many of them. فَمَبِيتُ لَيْلِكَ فِي الْفِرَاشِ. That day when you are on the mattress of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when you were in the bed, وَالْعِدَى تُهْدِي إِلَيْكَ بَوَارِقًا وَرُعُودًا. And all the tribes and all the army outside pointing their spears and swords at you, and the arrows waiting for the moment to kill you. فَرَقَدْتَ مَثْلُوجَ الْفُؤَادِ. But you slept as there's ice in your heart. كَأَنَّمَا تُهْدِي الْقِرَاعُ لِسَمْعِكَ التَّغْرِيدَ. Just like those spears and arrows playing music for you to sleep. What's going on here? The people can you sleep with people? 50 people, 50 tribes outside trying to kill you, and you're sleeping? Who's going to sleep that night? It might be your end. He did not ask Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, was it going to be his end or not? But like he's sleeping in the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's bed, and the army is outside. Like the noise of the spears and the arrows, as if they were playing music for him to sleep. هذا علي بن أبي طالب. رصدوا الصباح لينفقوا كنز الهدى أو ما دروا كنز الهدى مرصودا. يعني they waited till the morning to kill or slaughter the treasure of guidance, كنز الهدى. Don't they understand that the Creator will preserve His messenger? Don't they get it? Don't they understand? Don't they wake up? How do you understand this? Except with love. Love makes things emanate from within yourself. You go out of your way when you love to do things. You try to put, even the pains become sweet. If those people love birds, when people get married first, or the first 6 months. I'm just kidding. I'm not meaning the first 6 months. Inshallah, first life entirely. Like anyway, well, when they're still engaged and all these things, she says something bad to him, but he sees it sweet. Say it again, no problem. You say it to him, he kills you. But she says it, no, she can't say it. See the same thing? Oh, if her mother tells her, Mom, why are you saying this to me? But he says, no problem. No problem. فأنت, you're willing to do so much. When you have that love, it makes things come out of you. It's like water exploding out of your heart. The nur is coming, emanating from you when you love Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. It becomes within you. You become Muhammadi as well. Salmanu minna ala al-bayt. Right? وهذا الحديث حسن إن شاء الله. ويعني if the isnad has a question, it's an authentic hadith related by Ali. Anyway. How do you understand Imara? You remember Imara in the Battle of Uhud? Imara was one of these Sahabiyat radiallahu ta'ala anhunna. The great Sahaba radiallahu anhum, and they're all great. In the Battle of Uhud, you know what happened. Everyone came because they did not follow the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam's advice. So Khalid ibn Walid or Abu Sufyan came from behind and attacked him and killed them. Killed a lot of people. Sahaba ran to the Prophet ﷺ, so much that Abu Sufyan wanted to say, where is Muhammad? Muhammad is dead. He thought the Prophet ﷺ is dead. Well, he kept saying this. When Nabi ﷺ told Umar, Ya Umar, you answer him. Tell him. And Sayyidina Umar's voice was loud. But anyway, some other time we talk about the details. What happened is some of the Sahaba ran. Few of them ran to be around the Prophet ﷺ, and the mushrikeen were going to kill the Prophet ﷺ because they said, if we kill him now, it's over. One of the mushrikeen, there's not enough, people are getting killed right and left. One of the mushrikeen, his name is Ibn Qam'a. He saw a path all the way to where the Prophet ﷺ and a couple of his companions around him. He took his sword and ran. He wants to kill the Prophet ﷺ. Lakin there is that Imara, this woman, Sahabiya. She doesn't have any sword. She saw him from far. She doesn't have any shield. She only has her clothes. Maybe she was taking care of the injured or she's bringing food. She left everything and ran right in front of him. He goes right, she goes right, he goes left, and then he starts hitting her and chopping her hand and fingers, and the blood is just exploding, gushing out of her body, and she would not let him go anywhere. She's standing under him. She's not going to let him. She's determined. Her son comes to her, says, Mother, I have a sword. He realized, he saw his mother. She says, no, leave me alone and go to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Leave me here. You go. He kept that. Ibn Qam'a kept hitting her until she fell on down. She fell on the ground. She can't take it anymore. Everything he's getting. But then, as if that love inside of her for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, she's seeing him, and that she stands again and again, and she takes so many swords, and then the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam realizes this. He says, "Who's gonna take what sees this?" Yeah, I didn't mean to say realize. He says, who can take what Imara is taking? The Kutub of the Sirah mentioned this. Imara says, Ya Rasulullah, I can take this and I can take more and more and more. No problem. For your love, Ya Rasulullah, may my soul be ransomed. There is no problem. She says, Ya Rasulullah, I only ask you one thing. What do you want, Ya Imara? She said, Ya Rasulullah, I just want your suhbah in Jannah. All I want is murafaqataka fil Jannah. I want to be with you in Jannah. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, not only you, you and your children and your family will be my companions in Jannah. How can you understand this if it's not love? What takes a woman without a shield and a sword and a spear to stand in front of death itself, injuring herself, except that love that revives the soul? It gives a new life to meaning, new meaning to life. Well, life without love is not worth much. You see people live without love. One of the poets says, وَالْعَيْشُ دُونَ الْعِشْقِ. في حب, there's عشق, that's even higher. That's intermingled in every single thing in you. وَالْعَيْشُ دُونَ الْعِشْقِ أَوْ لَذْعِ الْهَوَى. If you live without life, if you live without love, عَيْشٌ يَلِيقُ بِمِثْلِهِ التَّأْبِيلُ. We should shroud you and put you under the soil because you're just as good as dead. If you live without love, you're just as good as dead. Our problem nowadays, especially among the youth, our sisters and our brothers, is the lack of that, the blossoming of the tree of love in their heart towards Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Is that spring of love, giving more and more, so they become loving. Not technical, memorizing words. We want people to learn. We want people to... Lakin before you learn, Qari Sahib, Ustad Sahib, he mentioned here Ar-Rahman, Allam al-Quran. Before Allam al-Quran, there is Ar-Rahman. Ya Habibi, there has to be some love. There has to be some compassion. There is a reason for this sequence in the Quran there. But this futur, this debilitated state of love in our hearts, that flame or that illumination fountain of love is not there. So we made the ibadah ritual, we made everything ritual. Siyam ritual, just abstain from food and drinks all day, no problem. Salah, just do the harakat and say the Fatiha and Bismillah, no problem. No change, no transformation, no love. People with love, you see it on their faces. What does the name Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam does to your heart? That's the question. What does it sort of, is the nur coming, illuminating? Are the tears a little bit